Hey guys, today we are just going to spend the day reviewing prime factorization. So if you were one of the students that did not do well on your formative on Friday, there was a good number of students that got every single problem wrong. If you know you're one of them, or if you're unsure, you can always go back in and see your grade from your Friday formative by clicking on it. Please join my Google Meet today at 11:30 so I can catch you up and I can show you more problems and I need to see where you are to make sure you're understanding this. Prime factorization is a super important skill because you will use it for the rest of the unit, not just for this skill. I'm actually going to be using the cake and the trees multiple different ways as we progress through greatest common factor, at least common multiple. So you need to check in with me if you do not understand. Okay, I can't see you, so I can't really see how you're doing. So this is where you need to tell me if you need help. Okay, so I'm going to go over one more example of the cake and the trees of prime factorization. I would just write it down with me in your notebooks as you go so you get one more example to look at as you're practicing today. And then please email me or join my Google Meet if you need help. So we're going to find the prime factorization of 100. So if you don't remember, prime factorization is just finding all of the prime factors of the number and then multiplying them. So we're going to rewrite a composite number of 100 as a product of its prime factors. So I showed you the two methods on Friday, cake and the trees. You only need one going forward. I told you that the cake is definitely the easier one moving forward, but if your brain understands the trees better, then go with it. I'll continue showing you both methods as we work through the unit. So it's whatever your brain understands the best. So if we are doing the cake for 100, we're going to start by drawing or writing 100 in our first layer of cake. Always list your first couple prime numbers down the side so it helps you work through them, because you always want to start with your smallest prime number, which is 2. Ask yourself, is 100 divisible by 2? It is, so 2 goes on the outside, and you do 100 divided by 2 is 50 in our next layer of cake. So keep going with 2 until it's not divisible by 2 anymore. So 50 is divisible by 2, so we're going to divide by 2 to get 25. So 25 is not divisible by 2, so we're going to cross it off and move on. So 25 is actually also not divisible by 3. Oh, but it is divisible by 5. So we're going to divide 25 by 5 to get 5. And 5 is obviously divisible by itself of 5. And 5 divided by 5 is 1, and there's the candle at the top of your cake. So then you need to pull out the numbers on the side, and the prime factorization of 100 is 2 times 2 times 5 times 5. Notice, all of these factors are prime. So all of you that selected composite numbers on the formative on Friday, you obviously were not paying attention to if the numbers were prime or not. All of those numbers should be prime or you did something wrong. Okay? And for factor trees, very, very similar. But so you want to put 100 at the top, and then you want to break down 100 into a factor pair. Well, I know that 100 is 2 times 50. Whenever a prime number pops up in your tree, you're going to circle it. And then 50 can be broken down even further. And I know 2 times 25 gets me 50. 2 is prime, so I circle it. I'm going to break down 25. 25 is 5 times 5, which both of those are prime, so I'm going to circle them. And all of the circle numbers are my prime factorization. I know I'm done the tree when I can't break down any numbers any longer because the last numbers are prime. So 100 equals, that'd be good if I wrote 2 zeros, 2 times 2 times 5 times 5. So there's an example of both. You can always go back and watch the clip video on Friday as well if you need even more examples, because I did a bunch in that video. So I apologize it was so long, but I got excited and wanted to show you so many examples. So for today in the formative, or not formative, you're actually going to be playing quizzes to practice, and I'll go over that in a second. But in the quizzes, I do go over how to rewrite these prime factorizations in a shorter way. So last year you did learn exponents. So if I would say 2 to the second power, that would be the big number tells you what number you're multiplying, and the little number, or the exponent, tells you how many times to multiply it. So this would be multiplying 2 twice. If I had 2 to the third power, I'd be multiplying 2 3 times. So it would be 2 times 2 times 2. So I know you learned that last year. All the kids in class on Friday told me that is something that you learned. You just kind of forgot about it. So you are going to see a couple of examples of how to rewrite these prime factorizations with exponents. So if I'm looking at the prime factorization of 100, I could actually rewrite this using exponents. So there are 2 2's. So 2 is being multiplied twice. So 2 to the second power. And that is being multiplied to 5 being multiplied twice. 5 to the second power. So that is just another way to rewrite it. I'm never going to ask you to write it like that on a test. I prefer you to actually write it out, but just in case the PSSAs would ever throw the exponents at you, I wanted to make you aware of it. And like I said, there's a couple questions on quizzes, and I just wanted you to try to figure them out. Not a big deal if you don't remember exponents, but a fun fact in math. Okay, so what you're doing today. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to play quizzes to practice the prime factorization. This is worth 5 points. Just playing one round. Don't forget to use your first and last name when you play. I had a couple silly names. They didn't get credit last time. I even had a couple just first names. Make sure you do first and last because there's a lot of common names in this grade. So I want to make sure I know who you are. So first and last name when you play quizzes, just play it through once. And then once that is done, you get 5 points towards your grade. Easy 5 points. Don't skip it. Please take advantage of it. So then after you do your quizzes, you do have a formative for homework. This is also worth 5 points of your grade, but you don't get the credit unless you send me your work. So if you're a hybrid kid, if you come to school every other day, you do not need to send me your work because I already taught it to you in person and I saw you doing the work on Friday. If you are a online student where you've never ever sat in my class or you don't anymore, you need to send me a picture of your work. So you're either showing, so for the formative, there's 4 questions that you need to send me your work. So I want a piece of paper, like if this is your paper, I would do, here's number 1, do your cake or your tree. Here's number 2, do your cake or your tree. Number 3, do your cake or your tree. And number 4, cake or tree. Okay, so I need to see your cake or your tree for all 4 problems on your formative. Take a picture of it and send it to me. Either attach it to this assignment on Google Classroom or you need to email it to me. If I do not get a picture of your work, you're not getting credit for your formative today. I will repeat, if I do not get a picture of your work, online students, you are not getting credit. If you don't know how to take a picture, jump on the Google Meet at 11:30 and show it to me live. And I will take that as you showing me your work, okay? Please email me if there's any questions or you're not sure about something. Other than that, you're just playing quizzes and doing your formative today, okay? Have a wonderful